These are signs that you are dating an insecure man, which is something I spent way too much time in my 20s doing. Oopsies, good thing I went to therapy. Anyway, here's some hot tips for you so you don't do the same. Number one, avoid any man that criticizes or gets mad at the way that you dress. Girl, run. Did he buy you?
Okay, I don't know. If you went to therapy, you'd understand these concepts very well. If a guy cares about the way a woman dresses, it's because he cares about her and he cares about her modesty, not just for his own benefit, but also for her benefit. Whenever girls have an issue with you caring about the way they dress, that's the real red flag. It has nothing to do with insecurity, of course. It only has to do with the fact that they want to protect her, whether it's protect her from other men or protect her from herself. Doesn't matter. Let's continue.
All of your clothes? Probably not. No, he didn't. So he can't tell you how to dress. Those are the rules there. Two.
I'm just going to say very quickly and candidly, you could tell that she has a massive complex that she's built. This is essentially a coping strategy. The reason why people build these kind of complexes and personalities is because they can't deal with the reality. So what they do is they decide to build a complex and a cope in order to essentially survive. She didn't get what she truly wanted initially, so now she has to build this whole complex structure in order to tell herself that she wants something else, and then she preaches that same structure to whoever wants to listen to it.
Any guy who doesn't support your dreams in like your career or any sort of like hobbies or passions that you want to pursue, if he makes fun of you and makes you feel small about them, I bet there's something small about him.
So I don't think a guy should make a girl feel small about her passions or whatever, but at the same time, her passions and her career are in direct conflict with you. It's pretty much impossible to be a real protector and provider when another entity is your direct competition at all times. That may be good for you as an individual, but it's definitely not good or healthy for the relationship. Whenever the woman prioritizes herself over the relationship, it usually ends in problems. This is typically why guys have such a problem with girls in their careers. Let's keep going.
That's all I'm saying. Also, next, if he doesn't trust any of your male platonic friendships, I literally had a man who I dated who told me he thought it was impossible for men and women to be friends platonically. Okay, that sounds like a personal problem. Maybe women don't like you because you're a dick.
Okay, so more projection and cope, of course. The guy that she was with was obviously right. The only way that guys and girls can be friends is through some sort of structure. Male-female friendships are typically like oil and water. If you're true to yourself as a man, it's going to be very hard for you to have friends that are girls. I'll give an extremely basic example as to why this is the truth. As a guy, you typically don't want to have to filter your speech. Around girls, 99% of the time, you have to filter your speech to some extent. The moment you're filtering your speech, you're making some form of a compromise. If you have to compromise in that way to be friends with somebody, are they really your real friend? I mean, sure, they can be acquaintances, and sometimes it's nice to have acquaintances you can keep around for the once in a blue moon hangout, but are they your real friends if you can't say whatever you want around them? Typically speaking, women don't like to be in disagreeable situations, so you can't really say what you want to say most of the time around women. There might be exceptions, of course, but this is generally when you're friends with other couples that have the same mindset as you two. It's only in those scenarios you could say that you're kind of friends, but the moment that guy goes or they break up, then typically you're not going to hang out anymore. That's usually how it goes.
Did you ever think about that? Probably not. Do not trust men that make you feel small or insecure or project their onto you in an effort to be like, well, I'm just like really deep and passionate. No, they need therapy.
And yet another example of girls going online, venting their situation, but pretending that they're giving some form of advice. She's still mad about a certain type of guy that wronged her when she was young, and now she's coming online to tell you to not choose that guy for yourself because, of course, it didn't work out for her, so it's definitely not going to work out for you. It's never her fault, of course. She was simply unhealed. It almost seems like the pattern in this situation is always the same. It may take on a million different forms, but that base pattern is identical if you pay attention. I know some people might say that I'm cherry picking videos, but in reality, a lot of these videos are being sent to me. I also do videos of girls that I agree with. Unfortunately, there's a lot more of her than there are of girls that I do agree with.